Welcome, good students, and still this is paper one, and we're looking at the components that makes up paper one, and of course, the performance questions and exactly what you're expected to do, even as this particular paper is concerned. Welcome, and especially for those ones who are preparing for these November exams, I would want to say that interact with this work. You never know. And in case you're coming across this work is your first time, or somebody referred you to these, you came across these accidentally, how about a thumbs up, a subscription, of course, a sharing with friends that you know this work would be of value. Without that much further ado, let's dig into it. Etiquette. Etiquette. Etiquette, appropriate choice of register. Now, a register denotes the choice of language, whether that be formal or informal. It is the choice of appropriate language for the context. There are factors that determine the language that we use. Now, it is important to select the right language for the right situation, that is the right context. The choice of register is affected by the setting of a speech, the topic of the speech, the relationship that exists between the speakers, and finally the age. Let's address the first part, the setting. There are words that we use depending on the field. There are those that we use in the field of medicine, in the field of law, etc. There are also those that we use at home when talking to a family members or family members, that is. A chemist, for example, will ask for sodium chloride while at the laboratory, and while at home, she will request for salt. In the workplace, people tend to use formal language while informal language at home. Topic. If, for example, you want to ask for something valuable from a brother that you'd say, I was wondering if you could lend me. This is a formal language, even though it is your family member you are talking to. When offering your boss tea or coffee, you'll still use formal language. For example, would you mind being served tea or coffee? And to a friend, you'll say tea or coffee. In relationship, there are words that you use when speaking to different people in different situations. Often, an intimate couple would use the words like darling, honey, etc. These words cannot be used to address your colleague at the workplace or even your pastor. Age. There are ways to speak to a child and those of speaking to adults. To a baby, we use words like poo, while to an adult, long call. Or that's poo, and then for an adult, we've got a long call. The words used in different fields of medicine. Some words used in the hospitals, clinics, and other health stations include x-rays, fringe, paracetamol, doctor, nurse, mortuary, and then patient, etc. At a police station, lockup, cell, bond, etc. At the airport, aircraft, flight, air hostess, etc. Information technology, computer, laptop, CPU, monitor, software, hard copy, hard disk, etc. At school, the words used by the teachers, students, and others at school are chalk, ruler, blackboard, senior teacher, deputy principal, dean of studies, etc. At law, the technical terms used by lawyers and in the courts of law include adult probation, affidavit, alimony, amicus curiae, brief, that is annulment, appeal, appellant, appealee, arrest, plaintiff, defendant, dismissal, oath, revocation, hearing, land friend, etc. Exercise. Of course, this one, good students, I would want you to maybe to inbox me on the dial box there in our conversation box, and let me see what you think of this particular exercise. That is after the information. Now read the conversation below and then answer the questions that follow. Caller, is this Sedex? Receptionist, yes. How may I be of help to you? Caller, it's Dorothy calling. Receptionist, oh, Dorothy, how is the going? Caller, lunch today. Receptionist, of course. Caller, what time then? receptionist. After I've seen the deputy principal, there are packets of chalks that I'm supposed to deliver. Now, part A of that, giving the reasons, where is the settings? Now, based on the context that the setting, and also even the place, the position, and even the choice of words that have been used in this particular context, you're likely to know where this settings is. So, inbox me in the comment box down there, and I'll get back to you and see if we are getting this. B, what is the relationship between the caller and, of course, the relationship? I mean, the receptionist. Sorry. What is the relationship between the caller and the receptionist? Caller, the receptionist. Now, explain the formality of the language that the receptionist and the caller used here. Do you think it's formal or informal? And which aspects of it makes formal or the informal? Your thoughts? The comment box down there. Give illustrations for part C above. Of course, you need to explain, showing illustration of the text, that the formality of the language that the receptionist and the caller are using. Another part that good students you're going to come across that is under paper one, under the performance part, is the speeches. Now, have you ever stood in front of a big group of people to present your talk? Well, here we shall learn how to prepare your speech and, of course, deliver it effectively. Preparation for the speech delivery. Now, there are steps that any speaker should follow in preparation for the presentation of the speech. Now, they include one, doing some research on the topic to present, get the facts about the topic. If you do enough research, your confidence level will be boosted. Practice in front of a group of friends or relatives. This can also be done in front of a mirror or videotaping your rehearsals. You'll be able to correct your gestures, postures, and etc. Write down the points about the topic on a notepad. You can prefer to them when giving the speech. You can be referring to them when giving a speech, that is. And that is, you can also plan on how to groom and dress decently. You should appear presentable or to feel confident. Grabbing and keeping the audience's attention. Your opening determines how long your audience will listen to your presentation. Now, if they are bored from the beginning, then the chances that your message will effectively get across is very little. Now, the most used methods are one, asking a question. The question should make them think about the topic. For example, how many of you would like to be millionaires? That's number one, grabs the attention of your audience. And number two, it sets the stage or the footing ground for your speech. Two, stating an impressive fact connected to the topic of the presentation. For example, about 30% of Kenyans are millionaires. Wow, that's interesting. It's a fact. Now, three, telling a story closely connected to the topic. It could be an anecdote. An anecdote is a small, brief, relevant story that is used to enhance or to boost the main argument. It should neither be too long nor intended to try to glorify the speaker. For example, dear audience, before I begin, I would like to tell you a short story about Maina Wakamau becoming a millionaire. Don't worry, it's notes and then you continue. It's not that too long. Other methods of beginning a speech would be using a humor. You would want to get the mood of your audience, or to maybe to trigger. And then also starting with the quote that ties with your topic, a strong sentimental thought, or maybe sometimes using sound effects like whistling. Yeah. Now, presentation of a speech. How do you now present? There are various techniques for delivering a speech. They are what will ensure understanding of your message. Some of the techniques would include, before I continue, good learners, this is different from what we have already seen. That is preparation for the speech and also grabbing and keeping the attention of your audience. And this is presentation of a speech. There are various techniques of delivering a speech. I'd really say that they are what will ensure understanding of your message. Some of the techniques would include use of gestures effectively to reinforce the words and ideas that you're trying to communicate to your audience. For example, when talking about love, you can use your hands to form a cup shape to indicate that how tiny something is. Two, Make eye contact with the audience members to study their reactions to you. If you sense boredom, then you need to improve, and if you sense enthusiasm, it will help bump you up. Use movements to establish contact with the audience. Getting closer to them physically increases their attention and interest, as well as encouraging response if you're asking questions. Your posture should be upright. The way you conduct yourself on the platform will indicate you are relaxed and in control. Do not lean or slouch. Wear appropriate facial expressions to show feelings and emotions. Smile to show happiness, for example. Speak loud enough to be heard by all your audience members, and then pronounce the words correctly and speak clearly for your message to be understood. Pause at key points to let the message sink. Stage fright. How do you maintain stage fright and control? Almost all speakers are nervous, including me. Yeah, you're not alone. Even the most experienced do. Fear of addressing a group is not wrong, but how we deal with it is what is possibly not good enough. Those speakers who seem relaxed and confident have learned how to handle anxiety. Simple forms of nervous speakers. 1. Shaking hands. I do that one, but I usually cloud that one by, let's say, for example, the use of gestures, movements of my hands. And now my audience will not think that I have got shaking hands, and therefore they sense that I'm afraid or I'm scared. Sweating palms, that one they cannot see unless I'm too close, but it is a sign, a symptom that a speaker is anxious. Dry mouth, rapid heartbeat, that one they cannot see, but it will render you not really deliver effectively. Squeaky voice, knocking knees, facial flashes, watery eyes, mental confusion, and of course, jitters. Any of those ones have ever happened to you? Yeah, they have happened to me. I guess you're asking. Now, causes of fear. Past failures during the presentation. Plan to succeed. Instead, poor or insufficient preparation. That is, will bring about the cause of fear. Now, nothing gives you more confidence than being ready. Discomfort with your own body and movement, like if you've got bowel issues. Yeah. Dealing with anxiety. How do you deal with this? A speaker can try the suggestions below. The suggestions, don't get me wrong. The suggestions below to deal with anxiety before and on the day of the speech. Before the day of the speech, or before the day rather. Know your topic by doing adequate and thorough research. You will be sure of presenting accurate information and be able to answer questions asked by audience members. Practice delivering your speech several times. This helps you to be sure of your organization of the main points. On the material day, good learners, this is now that particular part that makes up the performance questions. You'll be asked how to prepare before the day, on the day, and even after. Do some physical exercises like press ups, push walls, etc. to reduce anxiety. Use simple relaxation techniques like taking a deep breath, tightening and relaxing your muscles. Wear clothes that you feel confident in. When you feel good about yourself, your confidence level is boosted. You don't need to adjust your clothes or hair during your speech. Sport-friendly phases in the crowd. These are people who give you positive feedback, e.g. nodding, smiling. Such phases give you encouragement to speak. Produce ways to hide your anxiety. For example, when the mouth goes dry, drink some water. In case of excessive sweating, wear clothes that will not allow your audience to detect. If your hands shake, use gestures to mask the shaking. Good students and learners out there, even as you're taking this particular short brief break from your normal studies, how about that you engage yourself in this particular work? You never goes unrewarded. Remember, any little input never goes unrewarded. And I want to wish you the very best in your endeavors. Good day for now.